As a homeowner, I've been targeted on my social media accounts for easy ways to grow grass. The popular ones that I've seen most recently are kind of a spray lawn. This is called Hydro Mousse. It even has the As Seen on TV logo there, where you basically just spray on this green stuff that's mixed with grass seed, and it's supposed to grow grass seed really easily. Another one that I've seen a lot recently is this kind of grass patch mat, where you just roll this mat out and water it, and eventually it turns into grass seed. And then the oldest of the bunch, I remember this being on TV years ago, is just simply Scott's Easy Seed. Now, in the past, whenever I've grown some grass on my property, what I've actually done is a little bit of a mixture. I've done the Scott's Easy Seed and combined it with traditional grass seed and put it on really thick, and that's had some really good results. But it's very expensive because Scott's Easy Seed in general is expensive, and then I'm throwing on extra grass seed on top of that. So I really would like to know if these other options work and how well they work. And that's what we're gonna find out today. Due to the magic of video editing, I'm not gonna make you wait around, and I'm gonna give you the answer in just about 30 seconds. But I do suggest you stay with me in the video because I'm gonna show you how I have to prepare the area. I'm gonna show you how I've applied the products, and I'm also gonna show you how each product has grown over 3 days, 6 days, a week, 2 weeks. So you can really see and judge for yourself how well they've grown in various areas of my property where I'll put them right next to each other. And as promised, here's the verdict. It's been exactly 2 weeks actually. It's 2 Saturdays later, and you can see the 3 different products applied. In the center, we have the Scott's Easy Seed. On this side, we have the mat, which you can still see some remnants of here. And on this side, we have the Hydro Mousse. So you can see there's pretty much, especially on the sunny side, a clear winner where the Scott's Easy Seed is much thicker than the other 3. The mat does a pretty decent job, but really the Hydro Mousse doesn't come close to either of them. And let's take a look at how it's on the shady side. So we did this test both in a full shade region with a slope, in a full sunny region with a slope, and now we can take a look at the shade region without so much of a slope. And I'm actually squatting on the Hydro Mousse side right here, but you can see how kind of thin this is. Not a lot of grass seed at all. A little bit must have flowed down here with some heavy rains, but that wasn't a problem for the Scott's Easy Seed, as that's pretty nice and thick. And the mat actually did a really nice job in the shady region. I would say almost as good, if not as good, as the Scott's Easy Seed. We might have had some runoff here, but I would definitely say it seems from the test that in general, the Scott's Easy Seed is better if you want that nice, thick lawn, as thick as possible. If you're gonna install in maybe perfect situations or the best situation possible. I do like the mat because the seed is embedded in the mat, so if you have that kind of heavy rainfall, I think you're less likely to lose grass seed to like really heavy rain because it's in the mat. So you probably start the germination process a little bit early. So if you're going to install on a slope, I might lean toward the mat a little bit better if you have a wide area that's already cleared and already open. But in general, especially if you don't have a wide area that's nice and clear and open, I would probably go with the Easy Seed. The Hydro Mousse, I gotta tell you, I really wanted this to work because I love the idea of just hooking it up to the hose and spraying it, but the results speak for themselves. And if you have any questions about how I installed it, just keep on watching as I will show you in detail how I installed the product. So that's the final verdict. I would go Scott's Easy Seed or the mat, depending on your application. Now, one thing that none of the infomercials tell you about, or the social media ads, is that you have to really prepare the area before you apply the product. In the infomercial, they just show you spraying on the product or rolling on the product and watering it in, and it looks really easy. But when you actually get the product and read the instructions, they say you have to prepare the area, which of course isn't so easy, or at least not pain in the butt. So first, if you have an area like me here, I'm gonna have to rip up all these old grass patches. I'll use a claw to kind of get them loose and get rid of them. And then you want to rake the area to make it kind of nice and smooth. And then I'm also gonna take some topsoil and put that on top just to give it a little bit of extra nutrients as well. But I will say all three of the products say the area has to be well prepared. So right now, still a tie in that they're not super easy to use. Now, we talked about how the area needed to be prepped. The only one of the three products that needs to be prepped is the Hydro Mousse. So once you connect it, you put the pod in, you put the seeds in, you have to turn it on lightly until it fills up, and then you actually just let the product sit there for a couple minutes just to let the, I don't know, nutrients start absorbing and so on and so forth. So I just did that. We're gonna give this a minute to wait, and then we're gonna start preparing our three areas. Now what we're gonna do is, the first area is going to be the Hydro Mousse, so I'm going to use the spray grass for this area right here. The middle area, that's going to be the Scott's Easy Seed, and then we're going to use our roll-on paper on the area to the right here, so we can see right next to each other how the three products progress, and we're going to do that again both in the sun and over here in the shade as well. All right, so now let's hit this area with the Hydro Mousse. All right, so just did the Hydro Boost. Notice that green stuff basically goes away right away. That's one thing that I'll notice. Now let's spread some Easy Seed. Now Easy Seed basically just says spread thick enough so you can still see some ground. So you don't, it tells you don't have to put too much down. So you can see how much I'm kind of putting here. That's an Easy Seed, and now we're going to put water on it right away. Really light with the water. You can see how that turns to the darker brown. That darker brown is how you know it's watered. When it's the light brown, it needs to be watered. When it's this dark brown, that's when you know it that's when you know it has been watered. So now we've got the Easy Seed down. Now let's get this roll mat. Now this roll mat is the newest that I've seen. I don't know if it's the actual newest to the market, but I remember seeing the Easy Seed many, many years ago. I remember seeing the kind of Hydro Mousse solution a number of years ago as well. But this mat is something that I've only just seen recently. So I'll say right now, the biggest pain in the butt unpackaging is the mat. I'm gonna have to deal with this on the other products. Now let's take this up here. I'm gonna use my knife to kind of anchor it so it doesn't blow away. Have issues with it rolling up. Cut that out now, thank you. All right, now let's water it in. scotch will get that nice. Let's put a little bit more right here because I think I might have missed a spot. All right, so that's it for the sun area. So as you remember, we got the Hydro Mousse on the left-hand side, Scott's Easy Seed in the middle, and then the kind of roll mat thing to the right-hand side. Now let's go ahead and move over to the shady area. Okay, so now we're in the shady area, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the liquid lawn, the Hydro Boost on the left. We're going to do the Scott's Easy Seed in the middle, and we're going to do the sheet rolling on the right-hand side. All right, so we got the Hydro Mousse on, just like in the sunny side. The green pretty much went away right away. I think the green's only there to show you where you initially applied it. I don't think the green actually does much more than an indication. But we got the Hydro Mousse on that side. Let's start putting some Scott's Easy Seed in the middle. You can see this area is shady. Not a lot of sun here. All right. Scott's Easy Seed is watered in. Now let's go and turn to the mat once again. So we'll put the mat on the right-hand side. Make sure we're right up against it this time. What's nice about the mat is you see exactly where your coverage is before you even apply it. What I don't like though is it's hard, especially if you have any wind, it's hard to keep it still. That's why I used my knife before to kind of anchor it. So unless you water in each sheet one at a time, it's harder to keep it still. So we'll do that. Let's water it in. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep an eye on how these progress over the next few weeks. The directions do say to water 2 to 3 times a day. I think 3 is gonna be tough as someone with a day job, but I am going to do my best to water first thing in the morning and then also in the evening, like before dinner time. So we'll take some video along the way every 2 to 3 days and we'll see how they progress. All right, this is day 2. As I said, the directions actually say to water 3 times a day. Luckily, I started the process on Saturday, so I did get to water 3 times yesterday. Today's Sunday, I get to water 3 times today. But during the week, since I work, have to go to the office, I'm only going to be able to water twice a day. So we're going to continue to see how that works. This is the shade side, obviously. Now what we're going to see when we go to the sunny side, which is really nice, is what I do like is you can really see the three different setups very clearly. So we can see the mat side here, The easy seed in the middle and the hydro seed on the left-hand side. So we'll really be able to tell how this is progressing throughout each of the days. So again, this is day 2, second watering of day 2. It has been 7 days, 1 week since I put the grass seed down. Let's take a look at how it's doing. I will say that so far we've had 2 rain events, and I've basically been able to water 3 times a day. There were 2 days I couldn't do that because of having to go into the office at work, and there was another day that I didn't do that just because we were getting so much rain later in the day. I didn't want to oversaturate the ground. So I would say 4 out of the 7 days it got water 3 times a day. Let's take a look at how they're doing so far. So let's take a look at the sunny side first. And you can see right off the bat, I mean, the easy seed by far looks a lot better. Now, there are some sprouts on the hydro, or the hydro one, the spray one. You can see a little bit of sprouting there, but way more on the Scott's Easy Seed side. And then the matte one is really hard to see just because the green background is still there. But if we look really close, you can see there are some sprouts as well. I would say so far on the sunny side one, but obviously by far the easy seed is what's producing the most grass. I would actually say the matte is second, and then the hydro one is third. Let's take a look at the side that's more in the shade. And so far we can see about the same thing. Look at the Scott's Easy Seed, very nice. 1 week in, coming in well. The green mat, you might not be able to see this as well because of the green background of the mat, but a decent amount of sprouts, nowhere near as much as the easy seed, but a decent amount sprouting up. And then the spray, it's got some sprouts. There are some little sprouts coming up there, but nowhere near as much as certainly the Scott's Easy Seed, but not even near as much as the mat. So far it's looking pretty good that the easy seed's going to be the way to go.